Well, friends, how are you doing? It's October 28th, Tuesday, and we have had some quarterlies come out here. The market is about to wrap up, and we still got more quarterlies coming out here. What a day. PayPal releasing quarterlies, SoFi releasing quarterlies. Let's talk about everything here, what's happening. The next 48 hours of the market are still very crucial. It's only Tuesday, for gosh darn sakes. Let's talk about this. So tomorrow is a big day. We've got Trump, China, tariffs. Can we get some kind of agreement? Can something be, agreed on here? Clean up the mess that's been made here. This has been an ongoing thing all year, and we'll see what happens. Tomorrow, the Feds also are supposed to talk about, hey, they're going to do a rate cut, potentially. That's what we're expecting at this point, and kind of where they're looking at the future here. So we'll see what happens with that tomorrow. Now, last time we had this rate cut, we had the first rate cut, the market really did not start reacting to it heavily until like 2 to 3 trading days later, when it really got pumping. So this could be, and this is what I said yesterday, like the end of the week could be better than even the beginning, middle of the week here, what we're looking at here. But still, the market's pumping right now. I mean, the S&P 500 is back up to all-time highs. So with that, next thing here, I'm not going to talk about either of these companies really, but this is amazing. So Palantir and Nvidia are teaming up here. I mean, this is literally Iron Man and Thor teaming up here to, just demolish all the competition. You have one of the biggest company ever, Nvidia, and then you have Palantir, the rising star here, who's also, both these companies are about to release quarterlies. But with that, Nvidia is doing this thing all week where they're in DC, and this is what I've talked about with Richtech too. Nvidia is just showing off and talking all week about what their future goals are with Nvidia, what they're investing in, what they're doing. And this was announced today. So this is huge. This is a huge thing. Both stocks are pumping. Nvidia is well over $200 at this point. Palantir is looking to run. It is right in this stage of about to hit next gear, and we'll see what happens there. Friends, wow, what a week. There is stuff, it is crazy out there in the stock market right now. So, like I said, I'm not going to talk about SoFi a lot because I want to talk about SoFi in a deeper conversation on the second channel, because that's where I've been talking about it. But I want to mention it, obviously, because this is huge. This is a huge thing we saw with SoFi. And, thank God that we're still seeing amazing quarterlies with SoFi. But I'll talk about SoFi first, and then we'll go in. I want to talk about BigBear a little bit, talk about Richtech, kind of combine them too, because I've been talking about them so much. I just don't want to, stop talking about them for people. So with that, let's talk about SoFi real quick. So like I said, SoFi here released quarterlies today, and 100% these quarterlies they have proven something even more, that SoFi is the long life here. It is a long hold. It is a growing situation that people need to hold on to. The stock is not in very aggressive running today. It's doing well. Don't get me wrong here. It's up in this, looking for $32. I do believe that $35, $40 is but just a taste away at this point before SoFi really gets rolling here. And obviously tomorrow, we're going to have we've had quarterlies today. We're going to have the rate cut news tomorrow, and the Feds will be talking. So I don't expect the aggression to stop here in the short moment with SoFi. It has all the ammunition it needs to storm the beach at this point. It has this new quarterly that is but 50 million shy of $1 billion. Obviously, SoFi can potentially by Q4 here reach $1 billion quarterly plus. SoFi came out with, and like I said, I'm gonna put a lot of this on the second channel. The market's not even done yet, so I'm still accumulating information and stuff. I want to see what it really closes at today, but this is why I'm gonna release a video in the morning more aggressively on SoFi. But what we learned today, and this is the bottom line for people that maybe have been bearish on SoFi, maybe have been, believing that it's not going to get in this $900 million range anytime soon. This is why I think, a lot of people have been like yelling from the mountaintop, look at SoFi. This is a picture perfect stock company right now, where the growth pattern is hitting on all cylinders with customer basis, revenue, programs, what they are giving people just by downloading their app for free and starting an account with them. All that stuff is still growing at a very aggressive rate here. So I do think that 2026 is going to be a very interesting year for SoFi, where this year's been shocking, but still this year's been more of a year of just long-term investors going, okay, finally, we're starting to see some numbers that we knew were very possible with this stock. It's just reaffirming that, hey, we've done the right thing here. But next year, I really do believe is going to be the shocking moments for SoFi. It's going to be the moment where SoFi aggressively moves into more of a $1 billion quarterly range. It moves into a place of, we're hearing about them, buying up some different kind of maybe other smaller banks, really pushing into their software more, really going after customer bases more, and really pushing into more advertising. That's probably what we're looking at here, but still a heavy growth pattern. Great, fantastic. It's a very interesting situation that is before investors, because I think some people, and I've seen this with comments, people look at SoFi right now and they go like, did I miss the boat? Am I too late for this? I don't even know that the boat has really left the station for what we could be seeing here. So I mean, really think about what a year, 2 years looks like right now with SoFi. SoFi, what's so interesting about this, and a lot of people today, I saw this comparison where people were trying to compare SoFi, why would you buy SoFi when you can buy PayPal? There's very big differences, 100%. I love PayPal. I think it's obviously a great system. There's nothing to say, like, it's PayPal. What am I going to say here? But looking at both these from different, corners right now, you look over here, you look at PayPal, and generally PayPal is still in this box where people look at PayPal and they go, well, PayPal's used to, move money here, there, and, I can store money with it, all that kind of stuff. But when we look at SoFi has turned into this just arena show of, the banking system, where it is very much swallowing up a lot of new customers, younger customers, and it is it's so simple to use, and allowing people to, come in and, apply for loans, credit cards, all this kind of stuff right there with what they have. It's very easy. It's very just black and white of what they have for their software, but very advanced too. So SoFi is going to more than likely continue to push up. Now, PayPal, like I said, I don't want to say too much because I'm saving a lot of this for the next video, but PayPal is in this moment right now of releasing these quarterlies that are, 8 to 9 billion dollars. Great, fantastic. But PayPal has become locked in this kind of range right now, and SoFi getting to that kind of range, that could be 4 to 5, 6 years from now. I mean, who knows? Maybe sooner. It depends how many partnerships, how aggressive it gets here. The crazier things have happened in the market, 100%. But SoFi, undoubtedly, I mean, this is proving just more and more to be the right investment for people. I mean, it is so obvious that this is going into a place where it's not just a good investment anymore. This is becoming a company where we go like, oh, this is like going to be like an institutional company into the future. This is going to be a company where it's just going to be like a household name. This is going to be one of those things, 20 years from now when, older people, maybe us, like when we're grandfathers and grandmothers, and we go, I bought SoFi when it was nothing and all this kind this is becoming a very aggressive stock, but, stock, I think, will come here soon enough, but company, it is becoming a very aggressive company, and they are going after the competition 100%. So yeah, I mean, just saying congratulations to friends. Like I said, I'm going to do more of an aggressive video with SoFi. It'll be out in the morning, really putting more up here. But wow, a $950 million, just kind of rounding that up here, $950 million quarterly. That is wow. That's a big wow. Wow. Just to talk about Richtech for a split moment here, I don't want to talk about too much, but Richtech is selling off today. There was a hit piece article that came out with Richtech today. I don't know how much of it will last here. I really don't. Talking about fraud and all this stuff, we've seen this before. Big Bear went through this at the beginning of this year quite a bit, and that story kind of stuck around for a while, but it finally just ended. This one's a little different, so I don't know if it's going to stick around with Richtech. It may just the dust may settle here by hours, who knows. But Richtech, nonetheless, why I want to say this is that Richtech obviously is selling off, but there's obviously this gap right now. There is a gap between this $5 and $5, we'll say like $5.30 and $6 low dollar range. There's a gap in there that is this bubble that is struggling to be filled. As soon as we can see that bubble be filled, where that next pillar is built into there with Richtech, this is going to be a stock that is going to hold this $6 position, and it can start working its way into this new patch of $7, $8, $9. 100%. This is also a week where any day we're expecting, and it's already kind of happening, but nothing's been announced that we can find right now. But Richtech is also at this event with Nvidia. Obviously there's a lot of speculation. There's rumors that Nvidia could talk about Richtech, more about a partnership. Who knows? This is something that could happen here. We've seen Nvidia CEO talk more than once about robotics. He's talked about robotics quite a bit this year. So who knows? He could talk about Atom, Richtech's newest and most innovative robot right now that they are pushing, and so the Atom could show up there. I don't know. The Atom is their robot, so who knows? But nonetheless, I'm still very much believing that Richtech will grab the attention of the market again, and it will get its moment here. There's just a gap right now that needs to be filled, and the first moment of good news here, this gap will probably be filled 100%, and we can start to see the next push of Richtech take off here. So yeah, I just want to put that out there. And then Big Bear. So Big Bear, interesting enough, it's selling off today, and Big Bear, it's an interesting situation because Big Bear it's honestly, the last 2 months have been very good. I mean, Big Bear has captured 2 more airline deals, another random little partnership out there. It's been very good. But here's the thing I look at with Big Bear. If you're in Big Bear for the long run, if you're able to buy up Big Bear around anywhere from $4 to $6, somewhere in that range, and you're able to hold that into 2026, have patience with that, there's a reason to believe for a lot of us that could be a good decision, because Big Bear is obviously, they've turned a new leaf. They are acquiring deals very aggressively right now. They are going after these airlines. They are going after defense deals. So if we can see this pinball situation back and forth with these kind of deals, these partnerships, this undoubtedly is going to get them into the beating quarterly range that they need to be. Just get them at least over the hump to where they start to get more favorable attention from Wall Street, if anything. But like I said, the Big Bear selling off to a high $6 position. This is nothing that we haven't seen before. I mean, we've been here, done this, and then Big Bear will come back, the next day and just shoot up into insane numbers, just very much insane numbers. I'm very much in this realm right now of knowing that Big Bear is a very swing traded stock. People are swing trading it like crazy. With what's about to happen to the market, tomorrow will tell us a lot about what this rate cut situation is going to be when the Feds talk. There's key elements right now controlling the market, and what those are the Feds, obviously. It's Trump, and obviously a lot of this tariff stuff. We'll just kind of add those two together, and the third two is just and we'll kind of add this together too as just a broad bubble of what it is. It is the bear conversation with Sam Altman mixed in there of the AI bubble collapsing. There's that. Now, obviously, this week is a little different because we're getting quarterlies, and quarterlies are coming out to be pretty good so far. And obviously today we've got more earnings that are coming out here. Visa's reporting earnings today after hours. There's a lot, but tomorrow, obviously, Google, all that, those are going to be the big ones that people are looking at. So I'm still long term. If Big Bear can do what it's done this year, just even a little more aggressive in 2026, that's going to be the moment to go, okay, we're on to something here. Investing is hard. The hardest thing about investing is time. That is where most people fall apart with investing. They go, I can't do this. It's just taking too long. This is taking way too long. I have nothing wrong with people day trading, swing trading, options trading. Like, play it however you want to play it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's many ways to do well in the market, 100%. But obviously, I think long term will always prove to be, very favorable for 90% of investors that are investing in something that is doing well or showing signs of getting better. Big Bear is showing signs of moving in the right direction, although quarterlies are still a huge hole in that conversation, obviously, and I 100% can't deny that. But it is a situation nonetheless where AI is a very big conversation right now in the market. It's not stopping no matter what anybody says. Defense is a huge topic, and right now Big Bear has went from this software company to people look at it really as like a defense company at this point, because all the deals that they've acquired here this year especially, they just evolve around security. That's really all it is. It's just that's all it is. So defense, security, we can put them in the same conversation here. Just put them in the same bowl, mix them up, it all tastes the same. November 10th, those are the quarterlies with Big Bear. I highly expect the week of quarterlies, Big Bear will start to show signs of running here, obviously. That's going to be here before we know it here, just days away. If Big Bear does not hit quarterlies, which I don't know that it's going to, I really don't. At this point, what I'm really looking, and I hate to keep saying this, but it's Q4 at this point where I'm really going, okay, Q4 might really stand a chance of doing a lot better with quarterlies because of these last handful of deals that they've gotten. But the best case scenario, obviously, is beating quarterlies, but at least showing signs that quarterlies are moving up at this point to soften the blow of bad news that could come here with bad quarterly results. So I'm going to be optimistic and say that, I'm hoping quarterlies are as good as they can be with Big Bear, but we just don't know. But I do think if you're willing to, bite your fingernails and wait it out and, buy Big Bear as low as you possibly can with these huge dumps and pull-ups we see with it. Buy the bad news and, sell the good news, buy more of the bad news, and hold that until there's really good news and quarterly start to show themselves. Yeah. This could be the juice could be really worth the squeeze here into the future. It's just, depending on how long people are willing to wait with it. That's really one of the big things. Friends, what a day, what a market. It's only Tuesday. Oh my God. Friends, take care of yourself. I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.